Hello, Coach Tina, all the way in Jordan. How are you doing today?
Yeah. Hi, Zelna. I'm good. Yeah, it's getting hot here, so a little
Oh,
bit hot, but
good, good. I wish I could say the same in England where I am, but it's not quite that hot summer that we're looking forward to. But Tina, it's so lovely to have you as today's coach in the spotlight. I haven't spoken to you for ages, so I'm really looking forward to this wonderful conversation to find out what you've been doing as a kids life coach and what you've been getting up to. So let's just jump straight in. Is that okay?
yeah, sure. Let's
So
do it.
I know that you've had a really lovely long journey working with children. Your early career started as a teacher, right?
Yes, exactly.
So what made you transition from teaching into coaching children? Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so I worked as a teacher for like 23 years.
23
And
years.
yeah,
Wow.
23 years. Yes, I started very, very young. And that was my passion. I loved it for the 23 years and everything. But when I started to work on myself and I started to get into like emotional intelligence, I first started actually with kids. I did yoga and emotional intelligence and mindfulness sessions for kids. It was just like a thing I did on the side. And then I started working on myself. And then I realized these skills that I learned in my late 30s, that they were simple enough to adapt for kids because I've worked with kids for so long. And I was thinking, why wait until we're like in our 30s, 40s
Yes.
to work on these skills?
50s, 60s.
Yeah, some people are lucky enough to like gain these skills throughout life, but some of us are not so lucky, so we have to learn them later on. So I was like, why don't we start with kids? And that's when it started. Like I started to shift my focus after working on myself. And when in school, when I was a teacher, I worked with 3 to 5 year olds. We had a whole social emotional curriculum. And I
Beautiful.
found that I really enjoyed that part of teaching also is incorporating the social emotional, teaching them the skills of the emotions and how to communicate when I'm upset or angry and things like that. And then it just started, like it all fell into place. It all happened at the
Like
right
it was
time.
meant to be, right?
Exactly.
Like it was meant to be. So tell us how you started your coaching journey. You did you open your kids' life coaching practice? What kind of training did you undertake? Tell us a bit about your journey.
Okay, so I started after I did life coaching on myself. I worked actually with a life coach to figure
Adult
out,
coaching.
yes,
Brilliant.
to
Yeah.
figure out what I want to do after teaching because I was getting to that point like I do love my job, but I'm ready for after 23 years, I'm ready for something else.
Yes,
So
yes.
I worked with a life coach and she helped me realize that I still want to work with kids and this came up. I started in 2020. My idea shifted completely, but my idea started with, oh, I'll do it online now that I know how to work online and all that. And we have Zoom. And then I took, of course, a training in life coaching for kids, but it was more of a broad training. And when I started, I loved it. Even online, I really loved it. And because I have the teaching background and I taught online uh, 3 to 5 year olds, I had those skills of incorporating whatever skill I want to teach or activity into an online game.
Beautiful. So
So I
this was
started,
around
yeah,
about the time of the pandemic, right?
exactly, yes.
Good. Yeah, yeah.
So that
Makes
came
perfect
up, yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and then, so I started doing online mainly. That was my vision. Just do online. I can retire in a few years. It'll be nice and easy. And then after working with clients and things like that, and I noticed there's a need. I felt like I needed something more.
Mm,
Like I
mm.
needed. more resources, more knowledge. Although I feel like because I worked with kids for 23 years, I do have
Oh, yes.
a lot of knowledge about child development and things like that.
A
But
lovely
I felt,
foundation.
yeah, there was something missing. I felt like there was something missing. And that's when I started looking into other trainings for life coaching for kids, which there aren't a lot. So it was easy to pick, to narrow it down. And then I had the meeting with you, and it took off from there. And then I started the program with Kids Life Studio.
Yes, and you certified in roundabout 2023, beginning of 2023 with
Yes.
us.
So I
So
was ending 2022, 2023 was that part, that time.
so it's quite a long time since you certified. Can you still remember what that training was like? Like what was the experience like? What
Oh,
was the
yeah.
best part? What was it was hard
It'll
work,
never
right?
forget.
It was
It was
lots
hard
of
work.
hard work. What was the
It
best part of
is.
the experience for you?
I mean, now that you say it's been a while, I don't feel that. I feel like it was
Really?
just a month ago that I finished because, I don't know, just, I guess the years pass by so quickly these days.
Well, you know what
Um,
they say about when you're having fun? Time flies when you're having fun. So you're enjoying your coaching.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, so I do remember, of course, the course. Um, it was very thorough. I felt like if anyone wanted to start, like it can be a really good starting point for anyone who's looking into working with kids or life coaching kids, because you have the foundation, which is the literature and the research and all that, and then we go into the life coaching, and also I like all the activities. Like there are a lot of resources that the
Mhm.
program provides, which is amazing. I mean, for me, everything built up on what I have,
Yes,
and
you had a
because I've
lovely
been working,
foundation.
yeah, I already had that, but uh, still, I learned a lot. I had a lot the exercises, the activities, and all that. I still use a lot of them, most of them actually. And also because when I worked as a teacher, our program was play based, and that's what really drove me to sign up with Kids Life Studio because it's play based, and
Yes.
I love that. Um, so yeah, I feel like it's a great starting point for people who want to start, and also it's a great build to build up on if you have experience but you want something more to build up on that
Yeah.
experience and the knowledge.
But one thing I can say about you, Tina, is I mean, I met you a few years ago now when I had our initial interview, is you've always been a lady who has had two things. Number one, an enormous passion for children. And with this kind of training, if you don't have passion for children, it's not really for everybody. You have to really feel excited to be around other change makers. And that was you. 100%. You absolutely thrived getting to know
Thank
other
you.
people in the Zoom room, and you were always such a positive contributor in our group mentorship sessions as well. And then the
Thank
second thing about you, which I really love and which I know is what has stood you in good stead as a kids' life coach, is your attention to detail. I think you are one of the few, it's beautiful, one of the few coaches, and all of our coaches do fantastic work, but one of the few coaches that really, really immersed herself into putting this toolkit together for your coachees that was just so beautiful and so refined. And so I can see your teaching ability came in there and your previous experience. I must congratulate you for that. Your clients are in for a real
you.
treat when they work with you.
Thank you
And
so much.
that's something I really remember about you because that's important as well. You know, having that pride and that care and attention to the resources you provide your clients. So are you
Mhm.
still enjoying putting toolkits together and
Yes, definitely. As I said, I use still most of the activities that was provided
yeah,
by the program, but also I've added some things from my experience, from research. I feel like when you're working with kids, it's one of those jobs that you have to keep being up to date and reading and
Yes,
researching and
yes.
things like that. And also you get kids because it's tailor made to the kid, the program. You get kids that maybe don't want to paint or don't enjoy Play-Doh, let's say, or things like that. So you have to make sure you're working for the kid, and
Yeah,
not the kid
yeah,
is working for the program.
of
So, for
course.
example, I had an older boy who likes,
They're always tricky.
yes. So he was a bit shy and everything. It was hard to get him to talk and all that. So I was getting, these TikTok challenges, trying to get TikTok challenges,
Wow.
and yeah, and changing them and incorporating the program into it. So that's another thing about the program. Yes, we have all these activities and there's like a structure and everything, but we can also play around with it to match our culture, where we live, the students, um, and all age groups also. Like we do
Oh, I
sensory
love
motor.
that.
That's one of the things, yeah.
You know, that's what I love about play-based coaching. When I designed the system, I mean, way back when, 2 decades ago, it was based on what we already do as teachers in the classroom. Because I also come from a teaching background. It's something that you kind of naturally do, especially for you working with younger children. It's those play-based approaches that ignite a child's enthusiasm to learn. And that's the magic of the program that we use. But now tell me, you say you've worked with an older boy, you work with younger kids. Is there a particular niche area that you like to concentrate on as a coach?
I've been thinking actually about that lately. Um, I feel like every age group, I enjoy something different about working with them. Like
Mm,
I even developed I wouldn't call it like a coaching program, but a program from, of course, the training for the little ones, for 4 to 6 year olds. And I call it Play Date with Miss Tina.
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so they come into my space, the parents stay, we just play. I have stories and puppets and things like that. So it's just like what I used to do in the classroom, like talking about feelings, and it's like just awareness.
Sweet.
So I really enjoy that. And then
And
I
you do that
enjoy
on a one-to-one basis or in groups? Sorry,
both.
both. Excellent.
Yeah. So I started with the groups, and then there was interest for the one-on-one. So I started with that, and actually, they're so much fun. I love this age group too. Like it's my
That
favorite.
Yes, that is the joy of the work we do. I've always joked, and you've heard me say this before, that we play for a living. We get to play with a purpose, and there's always an outcome at the end of it. And it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
age group we work with. What you were saying is we have to tailor make the program to meet the needs of the children, culturally, environmentally, socially, and especially for the littlies, it's really wonderful that you're including their families in the sessions as well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
play-based coaching is a family affair.
Exactly. So that's for the younger ones. It's more simple and play and all that. And then there's the age group between 7 and let's say 11, 12,
Okay.
which also is play based and fun and things like. And they're so the kids are interesting. The things they come up with and the things they say, and it's just I enjoy that age group too. And
Mm.
then if we come to the older, which I'm not getting a lot of teens, I'm not getting a lot of teens, but I have had. And they're different too. And I'm enjoying each one on a different level. But if I wanted to think about a niche, something like for the future, I might like narrow into ADHD because I feel like there's a lot of ADHD diagnosis going on.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of kids struggling. I understand the ADHD a lot. So I, that's something the wheels are turning about that.
No, there's a big need. Do you know that that's how I started my coaching practice in
Oh yeah.
2003? I was an expert in ADHD because I'd come out of the special needs classroom. And
Mm,
then as I did my research over the years, my niche started shifting and changing, and I've shifted into neurodiversity and building brain capital, irrelevant of what a child has experienced. But when it comes to ADHD, I'm sure you're aware of this already. There's a huge overlap between a true ADHD diagnosis and a trauma diagnosis. And
exactly.
sometimes parents, teachers, educators, and even doctors don't really differentiate between the two, and how you support a child will differ. And which is why our coaching program works so incredibly well, because we have a trauma-informed approach. And so it does
Yes.
support children
Both.
who have been labeled with
Yeah.
ADHD.
And these kids, like the most thing I've noticed, I am actually working with a child with ADHD. The most thing I've noticed what they need is just someone to understand them,
Yes,
someone to be on their side, someone to be like, yeah,
cheerleader.
exactly, like someone
Mm.
to tell them, or I know as a kid, when I was a kid, like we think that everybody's brain is the same. But when you tell them, no, our brains work in different ways, just people don't show it. We just need to understand our brain. So that's the approach I bring. Like, just be know how your brain works, understand, and then these skills you can, like, we develop a lot of skills, and a lot of adults who have ADHD developed these skills through trial and practice and suffering.
It's
But when
true.
you have, yeah, when you have a kid who's working with someone that understands, you can just tell them it's okay. Maybe do this, do things differently, do things that work for you.
I used to love always telling the boys that I worked with that their brains were like a Ferrari, a very,
Yeah,
very fast
with
car.
bicycle brakes.
Oh, and they used to love that. I got a Ferrari brain. So, I mean,
Exactly.
that's a really wonderful niche to move into. And so, Tina, in terms of your coaching practice, do you have capacity for new clients, and where can they find you?
Um, right now, yeah, a little bit. They can find me
Waiting
on
list, I'm
Instagram,
sure.
yeah, on social media. Social media, I think, is the best place. Or I do have a website. My phone number is there. So
And you're also
any
listed on
platform.
our Kids Life Studio website. You have
Yes,
a listing there.
yes,
Well,
exactly. So yeah.
and so tell me, I mean, I'm so excited for you and what it is that's laying ahead for you. But like I said, you've always been a lady that's had passion for children. So what is your big vision for children? Like, what is it you want to achieve? You did say
Oh
you
wow.
wanted to retire in a few years, but that's
Yes.
not to say you don't have a big vision.
No, as retiring as a teacher. That was a
Oh,
teacher,
yes, yes, yes.
not
Got you.
working.
It's the
Yeah,
same as me.
actually,
I get you.
yeah. I don't know if you know, but I did leave my teaching job last year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
didn't wait for retirement.
Good, Tina. So things are going
Yeah.
really well, and you're getting really good testimonials with from your clients. And you say you have a small space for people to enroll in your coaching program. But
Yes, my space.
what is it you
Mhm.
want to achieve? Like, what is this big thing, your big vision for children?
Oh, my big vision is to
A hard
spread
one, right?
awareness. Yes, but spread awareness. Spread awareness to educators, to parents, other than working with kids. Like I want my first vision, let's say my number one vision is we're trying to help as many kids as possible.
Yes.
Trying
And
to
you're
not
doing
just
that
help,
already. Yeah.
thank you, not just help, just be that person that's going to support them, that's going to be on their side. Because
Mm.
they feel, although like the parents are on their side, their teachers are on their side, but sometimes they don't feel it because parents are parents, teachers are teachers. They have to love me. I'm their kids. Like, um, but when there's someone who's skilled enough to listen to them, ask them the right questions, they just feel a little bit different. They
Yeah.
feel safe to say whatever. Um, so that's my number one vision. My number two vision is spreading awareness. I'm not a parent coach, and that's what I tell parents. I'm not a parent coach. I'm not even a parent, so I don't think I should be doing coaching for parents, but I can spread awareness for them to understand their kids, to
Absolutely.
understand
It's knowledge.
that exactly at the age 4 how the child's brain works and what they need
Mm.
instead of like parenting. So that's another goal, is to just spread awareness, because when I do talk to parents, sometimes I say things that I feel like everybody knows or it's common knowledge. And they're like, oh, I've never heard of that before. I teach them that actually the upstairs brain and the downstairs
Yes,
brain, like I
wonderful.
teach that to the parents. Um, so I think those two are my biggest.
Yeah, I love what you said about not being a parent because I can relate to that because I'm not a parent either. But that's our superpower, isn't it? Because we can sit on the picture frame and look in, and it doesn't mean we are immersed in our own parenting struggles. Although there is benefit to coaches who are parents, absolutely. But what we have is we have a clean, crisp vision of what it is a child can accomplish, and we don't have any of that parenting baggage that we carry around with us. So, I mean, that's a huge superpower. So Tina, if you had one message for children, just a one-liner, piece of advice, don't even think
Those
hard,
are
just
hard
like something
ones.
in your heart. What advice would you give?
Be yourself.
I love that.
Be yourself.
And
Don't
you,
let anything affect who
yeah.
you are.
Yeah, you walk the walk and you talk the talk. And that's what I love about you, Tina. And it's been such an honor to walk alongside you and watch your journey through this
Thank
Kids Life
you.
Coach training that you did with us at Kids Life Studio, and then transitioning into your full-time coaching practice, which is a huge
Yeah.
accolade. That's wonderful. And I really look forward to, like I said, seeing what you're going to achieve in future. Keep us posted of any events that you're running, and we can share it on our um, social media. And yeah, we just want to hear what it is you get up to in Jordan.
And thank you. And thank you for having me on in the program and here for this
Absolutely.
interview. I really, really appreciate it. And like the program did help me set up this space for the kids.
Your
I went from
kids.
online for a
Yeah,
beautiful, calming space, and that was with the help of the program. It
yeah, absolutely.
motivated me to do more. So thank you so much for
Um,
everything.
you were such a wonderful student to have in our program. All of our students are hardworking, but yeah, you just really showed such wonderful commitments. And so you need to pat yourself on the back too, because you put the hard work in. Yes.
Can I add one thing
Yes.
also? Like the study buddies,
Yeah.
and with seeing people online, like when we had the weekly sessions, it helped because it felt like I wasn't doing it alone. Because yeah, at sometimes during the program it was overwhelming, or I felt lost at sometimes and things like that, which is normal. Anyone feels that way. But it was nice to have that support. And the study buddies was like, I hope you keep doing that because it's a great idea.
Yes,
And we're
yes,
still
do.
friends with Yasmin and Gigi. We're friends. We
Oh, the
support each
three of
other.
you were study buddies. Oh,
No,
brilliant.
it was me and Gigi, and then
Yeah.
Gigi met Yasmin in Dubai,
You
and then
see.
we now
Oh,
the three of us are like all the time we're like comparing and like, "Oh, what activity do you have for this, or do you think this is a good idea?" So it's nice. Like sometimes I'll come home from a workshop and be like, "Listen, this happened. It was so overwhelming," and they'll be like, I'm talking to people who understand what I'm going through. Or
yeah.
I remember I left one workshop and I was like, I just feel so fulfilled. I just feel so grateful. And I told it to them and they understand. Like that's
They get
the
it.
best part.
They're your
They
people.
understand. Yeah.
Oh, I was having a goosebump moment there because I really connected with your heart, because the training program is designed to get you coaching children, but the magic that happens is when you meet other children's change makers and form lifelong friendships and connections. And it's about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So it's so good to hear that you're still doing that, and that you're really embracing this opportunity. But Tina, I want to thank you so much for your time today, and I wish you all the success in your coaching
Thank
practice.
you for having me. Thank you so much.
Take care, Tina.